Okay, so now we're going to go into a small flow sequence, a small vinyasa sequence. We'll start with ekapada raja kapotasana, which is known as one leg royal pigeon pose. It's the initial stage of the pose. Then we'll move into some vinyasa with some chaturanga, urdhva svanasana and adho svanasana, up dog and down dog. Then we'll do a small twist to open the chest and to get the spine to revolve a little more. And we'll finish our sequence with vashistasana, which looks like you're on balancing in a side plank. Okay, so let's get started. We'll start in adho svanasana, one of my favorite poses. You start with your wrist, elbow, shoulder aligned. Then you fist your hand and move your palms a fist distance in front. Spread the palms, press the center of your palms as well as the fingertips, and don't roll in or out. Make sure your weight is centered. Straighten your elbows, keep your shoulders back, curl your toes in. Start with bent knees. Extend the sides of your trunk. Keep the elbows firm and straighten your legs. Now if your heels don't touch, it's okay, but make sure your legs are straight and roll your thighs in so you're not rolling your legs out. And your feet need to be parallel to each other and press away from your wrists. So you really lengthen your spine and just soften the head and drop the head. Stay here for a few deep breaths. This is a great arm strengthener as well as a mini inversion. And after your few deep breaths, look ahead. Now you can either just step, or if you want to raise the leg up, roll the hip in, and then you swing your leg in. Bring your ankle close to your wrist. It doesn't need to touch. Your knee points diagonally out. Point your toes back. Roll your thigh out so the little toe side also presses on the mat. Bend your elbows if needed. Roll your shoulders back. So your chest resembles that of a royal pigeon. Look ahead. So this is a deep hip opener. Sometimes when you start you're much higher, but as you practice you'll come lower. Now when you're ready, after staying there for a while, walk your hands forward. You can stay on your forearms if this pose is new to you, neck in line with your spine, so don't look up or down. And then extend and walk forward. You can have your forehead down initially, and when you're more advanced in the pose, you can have your chin down. Stay for a few breaths, soften your shoulders, keep them wide, don't close the chest. And then walk your hands in and lift yourself back up. Now from here we'll add a little bit of flow or vinyasa to strengthen your arms and your chest. Curl your toes in and lift into high plank. Make sure you're not hanging over here. Use your feet for chaturanga, four-limb pose, four-limb staff pose. Knees straight, thighs up, chest over your palms. Head and neck in line with your spine. Don't look ahead and don't drop your head down. Now from here, slowly move your chest. Bring your chest over your palms, bend your elbows. You can stay here or you can go all the way down, point your toes and lift up into upward facing dog. So the initial stages of upward facing dog, your knees are down. Once you're used to the pose, you're stronger, you can lift your knees up and suck the thighs to the bone. From here, curl your toes in and lift your hips to go back into adho svanasana, downward facing dog. Now we're going to go into a twist from here. So slowly look ahead and step your right foot forward. And to start, drop your knee. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. Drop your left knee. And bring your arm close to the arch of the foot. Now turn. Take your right hip back. Knee points ahead. Right knee points ahead. Stack your shoulders. Now, keeping your shoulders stacked, curl your back toes and extend that back leg. So you're not forward. Make sure your weight is almost evenly distributed. And turn. Think of the left abdomen turning to your right shoulder. And now slowly take your arm up and maybe take your arm over and maybe look up. Stay for a few breaths. Come down. Step back. You can do chaturanga, urdhva mukha and adho svanasana in between. And now to go into vashistasana, final pose for this sequence. Spread your left palm. Come on to the outer edge of your left leg. Wrist, elbow, shoulder slightly diagonal. Stack your shoulders. Curl both toes towards you and lift up. Stay for a few breaths. Now if this is too much, drop your leg in front and maybe look up. And slowly look down. Step back. You can again do chaturanga, up dog and downward. And then you move to your second side.